What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's nighttime here, and I just got to have some thoughts on my mind and stuff, and I wanted to share with you guys. So I guess what we'll talk about tonight is the topic of self-respect. And self-respect is defined as pride and confidence in oneself, a feeling that one is behaving with honor and dignity. Having self-respect in your day-to-day life is super important. It is your dignity and your worth. You know, you kind of need to know what those are in your life. You need to know your value in life. Everyone is valuable in their own special way to someone or multiple people, you know. And a lot of people, their self-respect and their dignity and stuff like that get trampled on a lot every single day. And honestly, society is very brutal. It's gotten worse now. Everything is so superficial, and with social media and, you know, people competing for likes or hearts or whatever it is that they're holding value in on social media has made having self-respect, dignity, and honor a harder thing to maintain from day-to-day life, simply because of the expectations put upon them by society, especially for like women. Women are expected to hold a higher standard for their day-to-day physicality. I mean, it's, you know, they've got to look a certain way, dress a certain way, wear makeup, put it on a certain way. They've got to do, I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And sometimes those people, women and men too, have to give up some self-respect to be able to get the likes and the attention that they want on social media. But we're not going to delve too deep into that. So what I'm getting at is that you need to have some self-respect. You need to have some self-worth. You need to understand your value in life and what you mean to people, and how people treat you and how they do you is hand in hand with self-respect and how you need to keep people in your life and keep people out of your life. You know, knowing your worth is a big thing. And now I'm not saying, you know, well, I'm worth, you know, I need to get this or I need to get that, and people need to just absolutely, you know, bow to my every need and my every want, and I want perfection and all that stuff. No. Worth is is nothing to do with what you think you deserve, okay? So you knowing your worth, being a good human being, treating people fairly, treating people with respect and dignity in themselves, to those individuals, treating people how you want to be treated, being nice and kind and compassionate, as you know, those things, you know, are what people are missing a lot of in these days. And having self-respect is a part of it. And the reason why self-respect is so important is because people will use you, especially today, especially in the current times and how things are going. People will use you until you're all used up, and then they'll discard the empty husk and move on to the next person. And, you know, in my life, I struggle with this very bad too, because I have people in my life who I, you know, stay in contact with or try to be, you know, friends with, or whatever the deal is. And I really try to stay communicating with them and doing things, but I find myself being the only communicator in the exchange. I have to initiate communication. I have to keep the communication interesting. So I've had to reevaluate my own self-worth. You know, are these people really wanting to be a part of my life because not necessarily in a romantic sense, but in any kind of sense. I mean, friendships, romances, even acquaintances to some matter. I mean, you've got certain friends who do certain things with you and certain friends who do certain other things with you as far as like hobbies or interests and things of that nature. That's perfectly fine. But, the communication and the effort has to be a two-way street. So, people versus self-respect. When people, I've noticed that a lot of times they will communicate with you when they need something, or that is pretty much it. You get a text from a certain somebody or whoever, and you'll know right off the bat, like, what's this person want now, and they'll be like, hey, how you doing? How you hanging? You doing good? Yeah, okay, man, that's what's up. Yeah. Hey, man, can I borrow this? Or, hey, man, can you give me a hand? Or, hey, man, they're always wanting something from you. They're not really reciprocating that back to you, because when you need help, they're nowhere to be found. And every time you hear from them is something that they need. It's not like a genuine concern or genuine need to hear from you to want to know that you're doing okay. It's always something attached to it, some ulterior motive. And a lot of times nowadays, people only really value you for what they can get out of you, and that's just terrible. I mean, I've seen relationships people have between man and woman or man and partner, and they are just one or the other's in it just for some security or for sex or whatever the deal may be. They're just in it for that. They're not in it, or maybe one is more attractive than the other, and they just like the social envy they get for having that beautiful person hanging off their arm as they walk into the mall, that kind of thing. There's a lot of that going on nowadays, man. There's like no connection anymore, and it's really sad. And you got to have the self-respect to know when those kinds of things are going on, and you have to keep your wits about you, and you have to understand when that kind of stuff's going on in your life. When people are not really being authentic or genuine, and you can kind of tell when somebody's interacting with you, whether they're authentic and genuine in their approach to you or in their concerns for you, you need to try to weed those kind of things out. I mean, people are pretty smart and they're pretty intuitive, and they can kind of see things. They can kind of see through some of the fakeness. So, guys, don't let people abuse you, use you, and you got to have enough self-respect to walk away from those kind of situations. How I try to apply self-respect in my life. Now, like I said, that is probably one of the biggest struggles I face in the current times right now, is that I have people in my life that I know that are more or less just being nice. When I say something, if I'll say, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Hey, and that's pretty much all I get. Hey, I'm good. So what's new? No, nothing. Yeah, how about you? Oh, I'm doing this, and I'm telling them all this stuff, and they're like, oh, that's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't if that's how your communication are with those people, man, just let them go, because they're not really interested in you being in their life. So, how I try to apply self-respect is I try to treat people good. I try to treat people good all the time. I try to be good to people, even if they're being kind of bad to me. I don't try to be vindictive or hateful or anything like that. I really try to take the high road in every situation. Not always, okay? I fall. I'm not perfect. I really do try to be nice, be courteous, and helpful to people in any situation that I possibly can, because not only does that bring me self-respect and makes that person respect me as a person, but it also gives me a sense of pride and self-worth that I am contributing to a society that is not necessarily nice to other people or not necessarily accommodating. It's like putting a little bit of sunshine in a dark room. That's what I try to do. And having self-respect is all about having communication with people both ways. People, you can't let people kind of string you along, or you can't let I mean, you can tell when somebody's interested in you, and that's in every aspect. If it's a platonic friendship, it's romance, if it's acquaintances that you share interest in, it still has to be a active communication between both parties. And you can't just be the only one always texting or always calling or always messaging and saying, hey, how you doing? Are you doing all right? I'm checking in on you, trying to be nice. Because if you're the only one doing that, that person doesn't really want to talk to you. Because if they did, they would text you. They would be the first to communicate with you sometimes, and y'all could have a dang healthy exchange. And that's just not the case. A lot of times, if you're the only one initiating any kind of contact with this individual, or if they're always kind of making some excuse for not being able to see you or hang out or whatever the deal may be, just cut that person loose and let them go, and let them find somebody they find interest in and move on with your life. And having self-respect also goes hand in hand with not letting yourself be taken advantage of, because I can tell you right now, people will take advantage of you. They will run you in the ground, they will drive you down, and they will keep you there. And you have to know when you're being taken advantage of. You have to know when somebody is using you for their own material gain, or they're using you for some kind of emotional responses or whatever vindication they get from you. Maybe you always tell this person that they're pretty, or maybe you always tell this person that they're the best mechanic or the best drawer, or they draw the best art, or you're always complimenting them no matter what. Man, you're the most handsome guy, you're the most pretty girl, blah, 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 blah. And you're just constantly bombing these people with positive energy, and they're not really reciprocating it, but they will kind of fish for it time to time, and they'll take, and I'm talking about being taken advantage of is people can move into your house, and stay with you, and then you're like trying to give them a leg up, and then they end up, just trying to like mooch off of you, or you loan somebody some money, and then the next thing you know, they're trying to borrow some more money, and then some more money, and they don't really want to pay you back, or or people just want your time to help them do stuff, but they don't want to help you do stuff. They don't reciprocate a relationship. So it's always give and take with relationships, as far as friendships, romances. Everything is give and take, and you cannot let yourself be taken advantage of. Having that self-respect in life is very, 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 very important. And like I said, guys, I struggle the worst with it, because I genuinely care for everyone that's in my life. I love them to death. I want to hear from them. I want to see them. I want to hang out with them. Man, woman, whatever. I don't care. If I love you, I love you. And that's just how it is. And, people nowadays are just so weird about stuff, because you're like, hey, I'll tell a friend that I love them, man or woman, I'll say, I love you. You're my friend. But they'll take it all some weird context, because that's the way society has geared them. I have self-respect I do have enough dignity and self-respect to know who I am, to know what I bring to the table as friendships and relationships go, and I know my worth. And now am I saying that I'm out here and I deserve the best that ever has been, or best at everything that the best in life? No. What I am saying, though, is that I will not be disrespected, and I am learning to not let people take advantage of me, and I'm learning very slowly that when I am the one sole communicator in a relationship with someone, friendship or otherwise, friendships and stuff like that, then I need to walk away. I need to let that person go. And if they really value me in their life, then they will make an effort to contact me too. So anyway, guys, That's just some of my thoughts on having self-respect and the way society is today. I hate to say it, guys, but we are in a decline in society. People, for all the technology and stuff we have and all this stuff, people socially are in decline. And it's a very sad thing to see, because honor, respect, dignity, courtesy, manners, all that's dying. People just are all about taking advantage of each other and destroying every other person's life to build up thinking they're building up their own. It's not very good. So the best thing you can do is have self-respect, have dignity, have honor, have self-worth, and teach that to your children, and try to impose that on the people around you. And then hopefully, that can be one little ray of light in a world of darkness. So anyway, guys, that's my topic for tonight. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I'm giving it a valiant effort to try to put out more of these videos every week on some topics. If you have ideas on topics you might want me to speak on, look me up on Facebook and send me a message. I'm very open to have new people contact me and talk with me and have new perspectives on life. So anyway, guys, have a good one.